Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back. You're at Reaction Talk, and I'm Angie. And we're at part 2 of Floor's interview from 2014. And it's not very long, so we'll get through this no problem. But how exciting to learn about this. And shout out to Gabriel for letting us know that he thinks that everybody should watch this, because I will second that, because it's a big story, right? Especially when you get a huge fan base like that. You want to learn as much as you can. So shout out to Gabriel. I appreciate that. And thank you for being over here and even watching. I am so appreciative for you and everybody. So if you haven't seen the first one, I will put a card and a link in the description. You can go check that out. And we are at part 2. This is Floor. Let's go.
When did this feeling come about? You and Nightwish, you were both a bit tense maybe, but how many shows were you into the tour that you thought, well, now it's going to work?
It went relatively gradually, but still fast. I mean, the first show was sort of a survival mode. Everyone came off like, oh, we did it. We did it, you know. Of course, considering the circumstances, it was a good show. It was not the best we could do, of course, because you need more time for that. But it was definitely a special, good one, with no major weird things or fuck ups or anything. So, and with every show, it grew better. I can't really say that was the show that it was there, but yeah, relatively fast. And the best moments, I guess, was for me the moment that I didn't have to think so much anymore and more could use my automatic, go in automatic mode and feel and transmit more like that, yeah.
And what happened after you parted ways after the tour? Did you stay in touch?
Oh yeah, it was so weird actually, because that was in August. We just did the live recording of Wacken Open Air, which was for all of us the biggest thing we ever did. We were on a high. We were playing very well. I don't mean that in an arrogant way, but we got into this mode of being really tight as a group, and we've done so much together, traveled so much together. Gone. So we did celebrate our last show. We had a party. We even flew to Helsinki for it, and we shed some tears, and then it was over, and it's like, I had great things ahead of me, but still felt really weird. Like now we grew to be such a tight group. I have a whole new family there. They speak this very difficult language, but wow, I'm so in love with the whole thing. And they are all in Finland, and Troy is in the UK.
Okay, I'm not trying to interrupt, but you guys have to let me know. Is she talking about learning Finnish and that being one of the most difficult things? I think I heard her say that before, but let me know. She had to learn a language, I heard, and I could have swore it was the Finnish, but just put it in the comments, because isn't that just so like humble of her? Like, even she had a heart. She can sing, highest notes, some of the highest notes that we can ever hear. But here, this language, really kicked her. But I can relate. Language is hard, especially if you don't learn it when you're a young child, right? Wow, that's funny. We'll go back just a couple of seconds.
And they are all in Finland, and Troy is in the UK, and everyone's busy. But I did go back to Finland already a couple of times, and we stay in touch, also on mail and
Did you do music when you returned, or?
No, it was I did a little tour through Finland, visiting people, seeing a little more of Finland, more than backstages and things that are evolved around Nightwish as a band, and now just really people's living room, and meet the family again, meet the friends, and we even celebrated Christmas together, because the amount of time you spent as friends, family, you're a band, but your social life is never normal in a way. You're either there or you're not at all. So you kind of grow to have your own social life within the band, and that's an extremely healthy way, or it's extremely healthy in Nightwish. Everyone's like family, and also visit each other during the times off, and I think that's wonderful.
So you spent Christmas together, and when did they actually ask you to become their full-time member?
They asked after the first festival in the summertime, and
Who asked?
The guys, Troy and me were come here. It was Marco and Thomas. Would you like to be, full-time members? Shall we be a 6-piece? And with tears in our eyes, both Troy and me, yeah, of course, oh wow. And then I was like, yeah, but we can't tell anyone yet. Okay. So poker face, okay, now I can't say anything to almost anyone. I mean, of course, my family. We wanted to use Christmas actually to announce the news. To sort of keep it exciting, maybe also around the times of the last festivals. Will they not, or continue? Yes or no? You kind of create an extra tension. But then the DVD was going to come out already in November, and that's why we decided to announce the news a little earlier. Christmas is quite a thing in Finland. It's very traditional when it comes to Christmas and that time of the year. Also for the Nightwish guys, so that would have been, a nice moment, but it came a bit earlier because of the DVD, which was a relief for me, because then I could finally say yes. Now I can share my happiness.
And what is your role now, apart from being a singer? But what is your role in Nightwish? Do you also write? Do you think about maybe the stage outfits or?
I guess that's something that needs to be seen, how I can grow into my role within the band, because I have been a guest musician for the whole Imaginarium tour. Of course I knew I was going to stay, but the whole concept of all that was already there. So for the upcoming album, I don't know how that will grow. I, of course, have my experience, and so does the guys, and I can't imagine myself with my personality sitting back and say, yeah, do whatever, I'll follow. But on the other hand, they know exactly what they're doing. They've proven to be able to write great songs and to put up something that totally, where all the pictures match and where the whole concept is one. And I guess it's a process to see how I can add with my creativity and how my input is going to be there. And I can imagine I have my feelings and ideas about stage outfits, but also with the songwriting, Thomas is definitely the master of the writing process. He's the guy in charge, but Marco also writes, and the whole band comes together and makes the puzzle work. So somewhere in that puzzle I'll give my share.
What are your plans now? When do you have to go to Finland to record or to rehearse? Or?
We start in July. There is a band meeting next month to talk about the details, but July, August, September are for the rehearsals and recording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, meaning a new album?
Yeah, a new album will be there in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what will you do after that? Will you be moving to Finland then, or will you be staying in Holland and then, for a few months go to Finland, or what are your?
Out of practical reasons, I don't have to move to Finland. I mean, it's quite nearby, and you're there always for certain periods of time, for either a show or now for the festival, the recording period. And then there are facilities there where I can stay. But I'm studying Finnish, and it's one of the 5 most difficult languages in the world. And the more I learn, the more I realize that's definitely true. So I might move to Finland at least for a while, to learn the language a bit better, because you don't learn any language better than in the country itself. So, yeah.
And why are you studying Finnish?
Well, imagine being in a group of 25 people. There are 20 Finnish people, there is one German, there is one Dutchie, and there's one, or 20 people, let's say, and there are only 2 or 3 people who do not speak Finnish. Whether it's a group of German people, Dutch people, wherever you're from, you always speak the language you hear most. So if there are 20 people and 18 of them are Finnish, most people will speak Finnish amongst each other, regardless of how well the Nightwish guys and everyone involved speak English, and they are very willing to translate. They still need to translate. And I feel if I want to be part of the whole circus even more, be more involved, understand everyone better, even now that I'm studying, realizing, understanding the culture a bit better, on the long run it's going to make me feel like I fit in a little bit better. Even though they have welcomed me with open arms and I already feel at home, I call them my brothers and my family. I think being able to speak the language makes the unity even bigger.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kiitos.
Wow, that was so good. And then of course it answered my question that I asked you guys in the middle. So yeah, Finnish was what she was studying to learn, and how cool. Like, wow. And then the fact that she talked about making her own, she's still getting her feet wet in the band, and that hasn't really created her complete identity yet. And then let's come 8 years later and like, wow, really? Can you not imagine, the Nightwish now without her, right? I mean, holy moly. That is such a cool story and background info, and I'm excited to learn more, and I hope you enjoyed this and you want to learn more too with me, because this is a real shout out, right, to the fans. To We appreciate the music, right? We go through transitions. You hear a song, you're like, "Oh yeah, I like that song." But then, maybe you like the music so much that you want to know more about the band, right? And we don't get always the time to learn about anything. So I'm kind of doing this with you guys, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who don't know a lot of this stuff, right? I mean, the fact that how she sings and can take the music, right? They take it to another level. It just shows you how she just kind of molded her way into this band. And it's so exciting, because I mean, I talked about it in one of the comments in a previous Nightwish we did, but what they went through, I mean, you have to be strong to get through what Nightwish went through. Um, all bands have struggles like that, but I mean, they went through some heavy stuff that could shut creativity down for people to never go back. I mean, she spoke of that in the first part, in the beginning when she was dealing with the burnout, how you was like, I'm done. I'm never gonna do music again. And how sad, and how, that makes it so none of us can enjoy it, right? Or find it, and yeah, but so cool. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll have more of these. So for those of you who like it, just keep looking out for more. All right. See you next time. Bye.